We've got to get bigger, guys. We're not growing. In business school, one of the first things they teach you is the axiom: if you're not growing, you're dying. And although this is not a business, it is similar in function because it's a movement. And all there is us. That's all there is. This is the whole army, pretty much, right here. Other than the people that emailing us, and they aren't having big meetings. So we got to get a bunch of people together from all over the country so that they can go back to their respective states and get more groups. If we don't start outnumbering the banks and their lawyers and start outnumbering show me the note, we're not going to have that much success. We are the only group in this country having success. Do you understand that? We're it. The show me the note people, they aren't having success. This lawyer that says he always wins, he's going to go back to California and make it somehow that he won this case. I don't know how, because he got his butt kicked. Garfield stuff's good. I don't agree with it. It's pretty good, but he's not having, his stuff isn't having success, and when they do, it gets overturned later anyways. I caught a lot of flack over the person that was here speaking a couple weeks ago. Some people have given me just horrible shit over it. And I didn't necessarily want to bring him in anyways. It was their choice, and now they're mad at me. Guys, here's an issue. Okay, you can do this. You guys on the internet, everybody, do it however you want. They're saying, you know, it's my arrogance, or I'm not as great as I think I am, blah, blah, blah. I'm not better than somebody else. I'm not saying I am. What I'm saying is, I will not go down to the courthouse and buy somebody's home that was stolen from them. I won't fucking do it. And I'll tell you, and one person's particularly angry at me saying, you know, that to say that I don't want people around me that'll do it. I don't want people around me that'll do it. I don't. I don't buy stolen property. I don't even download fucking music on the internet. I used to be an inventor. I was president of the Inventor Association. People all over the world could call me and give me a secret, and nobody would ever know. Remember that Segway device? Remember when that thing came out? I knew what that was 6 fucking months before it hit the market. Did I tell you what it was? And when you're living with somebody and you know something like that, and they go, well, you gotta tell me. Did I tell you?
You didn't even tell me you knew about it. I never knew anything about it.
The only one that got to know was my daughter, because we got to go down there and ride on one. And there was no way, because it was right before it came out, like 3 days or something, we get to go ride on one. And I think Patty was, I don't know, like 8 or something, or 10, I don't even remember. But how could I not? I mean, you know, she had to keep the secret for a couple of days, and she did. But she's one of the first people to ever ride on it, other than the test people. That's pretty friggin' cool for a kid. I literally don't even download music, because somebody made that, and that's how they make their living. And as the guy known throughout the whole friggin' world, this is the guy you can tell a secret to, and he never tells anybody. This is the guy that doesn't steal. This is the guy. That was my guy. I was the guy. That was my job for 8 friggin' years, president of the Inventor Association. And I don't believe in stealing. And plus, that's somebody's home. If you want to go down there and buy somebody's home, knowing that maybe there's kids living in a shelter because some corrupt banker that we're trying to stop stole that home and put some kid in a shelter, you want to buy that fucking home? You go right ahead. I don't need to deal with you. See, if nobody'd go down to the courthouse and buy those homes, how many homes would they sell?
None.
So how many would they steal?
None.
You know, when I did the Army thing a long time ago, we had this issue, and we went to places that the Army doesn't go, and did things that the Army doesn't do, blah, blah, blah. And there was this whole concept back then about certain bad things come from certain parts of the world and go to other parts of the world. And when you're dealing with that, you realize after everything's all said and done, you really weren't doing anything good. All you were doing was getting rid of government competition. I'm not going to go into it, but that's the facts of friggin' life. Okay? And I was much older before I realized it. But the point being, drugs sell in America, why?
Amen.
If everybody in America decided we don't want the government to be in total control and enslave us, we want to have our rights back, we want to spend time with our kids, and we want to keep our brains together and stop buying drugs, everything in the world would change. But people go, it's worth it to me to watch my country get destroyed and watch children die, and a lot of people become homeless so that I can do drugs. Okay, they've made their decision, that's their business. But if nobody bought drugs, nobody'd sell drugs, everything would change. If nobody went to the courthouse and bought the homes that the banks were stealing, everything would change. Am I overthinking this, or is this pretty fucking simple?
Law of supply and demand.
What?
Law of supply and demand.
Yes. So, yeah.
Problem is, most people don't know they're stolen. I mean, that's why they go down there.
Okay, but if they're here, they know. What I'm saying is,
Exactly, right.
if they're here, they know.
Right.
So I don't understand how you can come here and be part of this, especially if you're fighting for your home and you have kids and you're fighting for your home for a place to live with your family and a bank stealing it. I don't see how you could even think about doing it and being able to sleep at night. I just don't. It doesn't even make sense. Yeah.
Because a lot of people are doing it for the greed. Because there was somebody in here that mentioned that to me, and I told him, I was like, do you not get the point? I said, you sit up here and you see somebody is losing their home, whether they lost their job, whether they didn't have the money, whether the government, who cares? They're losing their home. And you tell me that because you're an investor and it's your fair process that you can go down here and buy a home. And I basically told him, I says, well, why do you come? I mean, it's defeating your purpose to get the knowledge that somebody is stealing your home for you to go out here to buy somebody's home. Are you going to give them the home back? Well, no, it is to make a profit. I says, therefore, it's all about your money, your pocket, your greed.
Well, it's, just because it's legal doesn't make it right.
Exactly.
And just because it's illegal doesn't make it wrong. One has nothing to do with the other. Law is about keeping the government in charge and the politicians getting richer. So there's somebody that was very close to me that's very upset with me about it because I'm not doing a judgment based on what they want to do with their lives. I'm doing a judgment based on me. I do not want to be around people that would buy stolen homes because I know what happens to the family who's get their home stolen. That's it. And I'll tell you, if I was sitting on a jury, if this was a real court and I was sitting on the jury and Chuck was in there because he just wiped out a whole family that moved into his home, I would say, Chuck, you're wrong. I can't fucking convict you. Can't do it. You take a man's home, you put his family in the street, or make him move to some little apartment, you do whatever you want in my book. So, anyways, that talk a couple weeks ago has cost me dearly, and I just have to deal with that. But I'm sorry, I stand by it. Absolutely.
That and the whole thing about moving into, or breaking and entering into a property.
Yeah, see, that's not a moral issue to me, though. That's really not. I just don't want to go to jail. I've been there. It's not as much fun as you may fucking think. If there's a vacant home and there's no risk of going to jail, I don't care if you kind of move into it. Don't try and steal it. Don't steal it. Don't go down and file false documents because then they will put you in jail. But in my neighborhood, I would say 20% of my neighbors are squatters. Seriously. Okay? Because every now and again, you'll see the people come out and it's like, they got to be gone right then, and then somebody does all the yard work. Because the squatters don't take care of the yard, and that's how they make it look like nobody's living there. They black out the windows. The way they caught the guy down the street, see, you can't tell that the electricity's on, but the doorbell button on all the homes is lit, and with the way he had one of those like long walkways to the door. So, and I don't know how he never caught this, but he's 5 houses down from me, And a damn light from that doorbell, I could see it from my house. So we had everything done except for that doorbell button light was on. So that's how they eventually, but he had been there for like at least 8 months squatting. I don't care.
He was out?
Oh yeah, didn't you see the yard?
I
Oh
saw the yard, but I didn't know he was
yeah,
out.
that's why they came through. That's how you tell when they catch the squatters, because they kick them out and then they have to dress up the yard. We have an HOA.
How do they get the electricity in that house if they squat it?
Oh, there's probably a million ways to do it. There probably is. You probably just go down. All you got to do is show that you got mail at that address. There's nothing truly illegal about squatting. It's kind of a misdemeanor, but that's all it is. It's squatting. You're not damaging, you're not stealing. See, squatting is one thing. Breaking and entering is another. But that's not really burglary. I mean, they could charge you with breaking and entering, but it's squatting. You go down and file documents to steal that property. Now we're talking about felony. Misdemeanors are much different than felonies. Okay, do we understand? You don't even lose rights. You can get 50 misdemeanors, and you're not even going to lose any rights. You're going to pay a shitload of money. You might do a little jail time. You don't lose rights. You can do one Class 6 felony, lose the right to vote, own guns, everything.